Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Not having Isaiah Taylor, the explosive, dynamic guard in that starting lineup for the Cougars.
Jordan Richard will be getting the start for Taylor in this one. As for University of St. Joe's, they are going to have to replace some key players from last season. Jalen Samuels, a 1,000 career point scorer, and a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Tyree Mitchell, he came back for his 6th year last year after tearing his ACL the year before. He was last year's GNAC Player of the Year, shot a whopping 54% from the field, including 46% from three. And Jalen Martin, last year's point guard, a staple in Glenn Miller's rotation over the last couple of years. That's just a little bit of everything. And Jared Simmons as well, really just a three-point specialist off the bench. But we have a few familiar faces, Arjun, and that being we saw in the scrimmage a couple weeks ago against Wentworth, and that's junior guard Lance Altenor and junior forward Freddie Feldrop.
Yeah, I mean, USJ, familiarizing myself with this program, what they've been able to do for the first 6 years that this program has been in existence has been nothing short of remarkable. But this is going to be a real transition year for this Blue Jays program. Like you said, losing 2 1,000-point scorers, losing a 3-point specialist, losing Jalen Martin, a starting point guard. It's going to be a huge year for Altenor and Feldrop. I'm looking for both of these guys to step up in game one of this season. Altenor, third-team All-GNAC last year, averaged nearly 13 points a game. Regular starter. I look for him to really take over the scoring in the backcourt. And for junior forward Freddie Feldrop, he was a regular starter last year, Brian, but he scored double figures 12 times last year. He scored at least 19 points in 4 of the final 5 games last season, averaged 18 in every postseason game for the Blue Jays. So that tells you what Feldrop can do when he needs to step up. I'm also looking at senior guard Kevin Cummings, number 24, getting the start, and junior guard Jonathan Box. He will be coming off the bench. He's a guy that's been here since his freshman year, really smart guy off the bench. This is really, really important for the Blue Jays to get these guys, especially Altenor and Feldrop, going early in this season, because that's going to set the tone for the rest of this year, Brian.
We talk about teams, especially literally first game of the season in November, trying to find identity. USJ will have to find an identity, just returning 2 of those 5 starters, as you mentioned. And Clark at this point, coming in, we're doing our research, and the biggest thing that stood out to me, Arjun, was 91.1% of the scoring returns to Clark last season with no Taylor, so they'll have to adjust here tonight against the Blue Jays. We're going to send it down to our PE announcer for National Anthem and starting lineups right before tip-off.
Gymnasium on the campus of the University of St. Joseph. Rise and remove your hats as we honor America and those men and women currently in harm's way with the flame of our national anthem. junior guard from Everett, Massachusetts, number 11, Lance Polkador. A junior forward from Berlin, Germany, number 15, Freddie Phildrap. A senior guard from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, number 24, Kevin Cummings. And a freshman guard from Bridgeport, Connecticut, number 32, Shakari Tolinen. Assistant coaches for St. Joseph are Jake Sullivan, Tyler Olander, Steve Lappin, and Jeff Calhoun. The head coach of the St. Joseph Blue Jays, in his 7th season overall, fourth as head coach, Glenn Miller.
So there were your starting lineups for both teams, just in case you didn't hear it. First for the visitors, Bruce Antilles, Jordan Richard replacing Isaiah Taylor, Quentin Pridgeon, Keoka McArdle, and Reed Newman. And then for USJ, Freddie Phildrap, Kevin Cummings, Jakari Tertullian, Lance Altenor, and the transfer from Keene State, Tameen Dupree. As these two teams getting ready, USJ won a thriller in their opener last season against Yeshiva. Need a late game dramatics to win that one. As the Blue Jays getting ready to face off with the Cougars for the first time in program history. Blue Jays have been playing basketball since 2018. Cougars have been playing basketball since 1921. But here we go for the first time in West Hartford, and immediately it's going to go to the Blue Jays as Altenor, yes, that was Altenor that hit it out, and underway we go.
And one thing I'm going to watch for early, Brian, is how this Clark team copes without Isaiah Taylor.
It's right there, the knockdown jumper from Altenor. You mentioned off the top that Altenor had to pick up the scoring average just below 13 a game last year. First possession knocks down the jumper.
And what I'm watching for the Cougars on the offensive end is this guy right here, Kekoa McArdle, 6'8". Freddie Phildrap is going to be on him all game. McArdle extremely efficient.
Three-pointers off.
He's going to be the focal point of that offense today.
Altenor left open for three, and he knocks it down. Lance Altenor shot over 40% from three last season, as he's got the game for 5 points. Here's Clark. Now Newman looking to drive. Might have been a carry there, no call. Swung on over to Richards. That one nearly stolen away by Cummings. 8 on the shot clock. Shot goes up by Newman. That one's off, and it'll be a foul called. And it goes against the Cougars.
The Blue Jays doing a good job early. Clark looking a little disjointed on the offensive end. Trying to work through McArdle. I think Newman just forced that one up.
This is a Cougars team that went 9-3 on the road last season, and they've won their road openers in each of the last 3 seasons. But a tough one here in West Hartford today. Here's the freshman looking to drive. Puts it up off the glass. That one short. Gets his own rebound. Can't tip it up and in. And the ball goes to the corner, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it'll go back to Clark.
And Jakari Tertullian there is the one that drove inside that time. Freshman out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. He really impressed me in the scrimmage that we watched here, Brian. I think as a freshman getting the start early, he's gonna have to prove himself.
Yeah, this is the first time a freshman has started for a Glenn Miller coach team. Of course, a bunch did the first season under Jim Calhoun back in 2018. Ball goes to the corner. Nice kick out three-pointer. That one's no good. And a whistle and a foul. And it's going to be a foul called on Altenor. That'll be his first. Gets called for the push in the back.
That's a great look. Jordan Richard doesn't miss many of those. Shot 46.6% from beyond the arc last season. 65% of his shot attempts were three-pointers. So he's the one replacing Isaiah Taylor in the lineup.
That one's no good. It's going to go out of bounds to hit nothing. And back to the Cougars, who are still trying to find their first bucket of the evening. As Clark applying the full court pressure. They get it into Altenor, and then they clear away. As it's an 11-on-11 matchup with Altenor and Santillis, the leading scorer for the Cougars. Here's foul drop. Doesn't hand off this time, gets inside. Nice defense, 12 on the shot clock. Here's Cummings. Drives right, puts it up, and that one's no good. As Santillis is there for the rebound.
That's good defense from Jordan Richard right there. Standing up tall.
Cougars looking to get their first bucket right in front of the USJ bench. Now swung over. Here's Santillis. He drives up and under layup. Doesn't do anything, and it's going to stay with the Cougars.
Yeah, Santillis had 20 points last time against Roger Williams. Averaged 16.6 last season. I know I said McCardle's going to have to be the focal point of this offense. Santillis is just as much there with him in the backcourt. But without Isaiah Taylor, it's going to be tough for him to really make an impact.
7 on the shot clock. Clark's got to go. They get it down to McCardle. Against Feldrop. Backs him down. Double team. Puts it up, and he drops it in for the first bucket of the ball game for Clark as double teams get it out of it. No, he can't. Here comes Clark back the other way, and an easy layup for Santillis as he's on the board for the first time.
USJ's got to be smart against that full court press. The first time they got it into Altenor.
That one's stolen away by McCardle. Can Feldrop get from behind? No, he can't. A quick 6-0 run just like that. Long court pass, but that one's intercepted. Nearly went into us. To the corner. Here's Newman for 3. That one's good. 9 in a row by the Cougars.
That's just not smart basketball from USJ over the last minute or so. Losing the ball in a full court press and then just trying to force past it.
Now Feldrop left open for 3. That one's no good. Rebounded by Clark. A couple of USJ fans thought they were out of bounds on the rebound, but to no avail. Here comes Newman now. They drop it down. Nice pass down low. Up and under layup is no good, but he's fouled.
And it's way too easy down low. Just got the wrong side of Feldrop. And it was an easy lay-in. That's 2 on Altenor already.
Yeah, he's got all 5 points for USJ. We'll take a quick breather. 9-5. Visitors with the lead.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12-ounce sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12-ounce sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
How about this, Arjun? It was USJ that came out on a 5-0 burst to start, but 9 points and got to be less than a minute and a half there for Clark. And they got a chance for the first free throws of the ball game. And Altenor, the leading scorer from last season, returning for USJ. He's on the bench with 2 fouls. As Jonathan Box comes in for the first time, he replaces Altenor. And the first free throw is good. As McCardle, a 43.9% free throw shooter last season, and he gets the kind roll there.
And USJ, they had a couple good offensive possessions, but since then they haven't really been able to set up in the front court because of this full court press. They get it through past the timeline, but USJ's got to be smarter playing against that press and not making rash decisions that lead to easy buckets on the other end for Clark.
Hands off to Box. Box looking to make a move. Gets inside. Might have passed up a shot there. 9 on the shot clock. Drives, puts it up high off the glass, and that one's good. So the first career bucket for Chikari Tertullian, And it's a big one as it kind of slows down the Cougars.
Nice move there from Tertullian.
That one tipped away by Dupree, but it goes to the corner. Ball goes back out, swung over to the corner. Newman for three in the corner. Hit one there earlier. Not this time, though. Rebounded by Cummings.
I think without Altenor on the floor, it'll be time for Tamim Dupree to shine.
That one rattles off, no good. Can Feldrop get the rebound? No, he can't. It goes off of him. And the Cougars will get the ball back.
It's a good mid-range shot there by Tertullian. Not super high percentage, but you take open shots when you get them. And that's where I think USJ need to excel against a tough Clark defense.
It's Clark dribbling it up over to John, the freshman, getting his first taste of on the road. Swung back over to Clark. Here's Santillis, drives, puts it up. That one's no good, no whistle. It's going to go out of bounds. A lot of hands and action there through the lane, but goes back to USJ.
And I like what Clark's doing on the press. They're deciding, they're picking and choosing when to really put pressure on in the backcourt.
Tertullian has it on the left. Tries to get it down to Feldrop. Nice catch going up against Clark. Puts it up and hits it. So that's the junior's first bucket of the season as it's back to a 2-point game.
More of that without McCardle on the floor. They need to do it.
Here's Santillis. He drives, puts it up. Count the basket and the foul. Bruce Santillis, the senior from Plainville, Mass. Back-to-back buckets for him. And it's the first foul called on Feldrop. Santillis led the team from the free throw line last year, 81.4%. That one doesn't drop. Opportunity for USJ to run. Here's Box looking to attack, pulls up with a jumper. That one's too strong. Almost rebounded by Jackson. Tyson Jackson getting the action there. Here he comes from behind. He knocks it away and he gets the steal. Box wasn't looking. Can he save it? It goes to Tertullian right in front of us.
That's awesome.
How about that for speed?
From Tyshawn Jackson.
It's like he got shot out of a cannon there. Unfortunately, Box was not looking for the ball.
It'll go down as a steal for Jackson.
There are some steals that come right to you, but that one, he earned that steal for sure.
He had to go get it.
He's double teaming the corner, off to Feldrop. He drives left-handed layup on the right side, and he gets the hometown roll. As Freddie Feldrop, back-to-back buckets for him, ties it up at 13.
That's a lovely move. Going up and under on McCardle right here.
McCardle hands it off. Clark making it look something happen. He drives right. That one's stolen away. Tertullian thought he was going to pull up over the box. He fakes the pass, pulls up right at the elbow, and he knocks it down.
Love that from Box. Creating space for himself with the fake pass to Cummings.
Here's Clark. Off to Newman. Calabrese back to Clark. 10 on the shot clock. Looking to drive. Puts it up, and that one's no good. Feldrop is there for the rebound. Might be a tie-up, but he gets away. Here comes Box looking in transition. Little step there, but no good. That one's tipped. Can he save it? Yes, he can. A lot of high energy here. Feldrop off to Cummings. He likes it three. He takes it three. That one's off, as it's an easy rebound for Calabrese.
And I think USJ are doing the right thing by forcing the issue in transition, trying to avoid being bogged down in the backcourt. They're really getting some numbers going from end to end.
Clark thought about the three. Looking to get it back. 8 on the shot clock. He drives. Tries to kick to the corner, but Cummings is there. It's a one-on-one with Newman. Euro step. Right-handed layup on the left side is good. Nice little pretty move there from number 24.
Beautiful.
Next whistle, we'll have our second media timeout as a couple players for both teams at the scorer's table.
And USJ adjusting really nicely when Clark set up.
Three-pointer in the corner, that one's good.
It's Jordan Richard again. His first three of the game, but he shoots a lot of them.
He made 4 in the opener the other day. Cummings looking to respond, and he does just that. Kevin Cummings with a little 5-0 run of his own.
Both of those guys shoot a lot of threes, and they're having their own little game.
Clark picks up his dribble, so box is there. 13 on the shot clock and a 5-second call. Christopher Clark just picked up his dribble kind of early there and got hung out to dry. So with that, that'll be our immediate timeout. 18-15 Blue Jays with a 3-point lead.
America, get back on track with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water. Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Welcome back to the James A. Calhoun Gymnasium. 10:44 left in the first half. 18-15 Blue Jays with the lead. Looking at the box score so far, Clark 1 for 6 from 3. As overall they're shooting 42%. USJ 8 for 16, 50%.
And I'd like to see USJ continue to force the issue in transition. It's going to be really important for them to avoid those turnovers they saw in that little 9-0 flurry very early on.
Malcolm Ely coming on for the first time, as is Tony Acevedo, the tallest player in program history at 6'10". Pull-up jumper from Ely, that one's no good. Ely played in just 9 games a year ago, his sophomore year, but gained a chance on opening night here for the 2024-2025 season. McArdle trying to back down his man, but Jackson's there for the rebound. He stored for that one. In transition, going to go all the way, puts it up and lays it up and in.
And there it is, another 3-on-2 opportunity, forcing the issue off the rebound instead of slowing it down. USJ have found what is working right now.
They're going to say that one was tipped, so it'll be picked up. Picked up by Charlotte, the freshman. Swung over to Newman, drops it down to McArdle. Trying to go against Acevedo. That one's stolen away. Here's Cummings. Cummings thought about pulling up for 3, but decides not to. Tries to find box. Acevedo looking for a teammate off to Cummings. He pulls up for the jumper. That one's good. Well, after Cummings missed his first shot, he's made his last 3 in a row. He's got up to 7 points, leading all scores.
USJ finding a real rhythm here on the offensive end. In transition, setting up too.
St. Tillis maybe got away with a walk there right in front of the Glenn Miller and the USJ bench. Here's Charlotte looking to attack. Bounces it over. Acevedo can't get the block. That one's tipped around. Goes to box, and he gets fouled. And that's going to go against the Cougars.
And you see when Box pulled that down, he immediately picked his head up and looked for a runner. There wasn't one. He was fouled. But you see exactly what this backcourt in Box and Jackson are trying to do when they get those those guard rebounds, getting it up the floor quickly.
Now Ty Callaway, who played here at USJ his freshman season. That one knocked away. It's going to stay with the Blue Jays. Callaway played his freshman season here in West Hartford, then transferred to Eastern Connecticut. Averaged 8.5 points last year for the Warriors. Played in 21 of 25 games, but decided to come back to USJ, and he's coming off the bench here for Glenn Miller once again. Jackson avoids the double team off the box. He gets in the lane, puts the shot up. That one doesn't rattle in. That one's tipped. Acevedo's there, but rebounded by St. Tillis. And here comes Pregame back the other way. Cross-court pass off the hands of Charlotte, and it goes out of bounds. We've seen Charlotte kind of mishandle a couple balls here early on in his first road game in his career.
Yeah, it's sloppy from Clark in the last couple minutes. Not able to get anything going on the offensive end.
Speaking of sloppy, USJ, they turn it over. Layup is up and no good. That one's tipped, and it's going to go back to the Blue Jays. And remember, this is all with Lance Altenor, the leading returning scorer, and probably projected to be the top scorer for this year's team. He picked up 2 early fouls. He's been on the bench for most of this first half. Here's Jackson, high float in the lane. That one's no good.
And that's encouraging signs for the depth of this USJ backcourt. Having Jackson and Box able to take over when Altenor isn't on the floor.
Another steal. This time it's Callaway, as they've done a good job of when McArdle catches the ball in the post of poking it away. Here's Jackson, pulls up for the jumper. That one's off the side of the rim, no good.
And McArdle's size is huge for Clark, but having Tony Acevedo out there when Feldrop isn't in there is a huge advantage.
Jackson got another hand on that one. That one's going to stay with the Cougars, as it's 22-15. Blue Jays with their largest lead. They lead it by 7.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12-ounce sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12-ounce sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
(22-15), USJ with the lead. And McArdle, as you've been mentioning, Archie, throughout this whole broadcast, he leads the Cougars with 6 points thus far.
And McArdle, I was saying pregame that his size is going to be big for Clark, especially without their leading scorer this season, 24 points last game for Isaiah Taylor, their leading minute getter too. But Tony Acevedo has done a really, really good job on McArdle in these last few minutes, and showing that when they don't have Feldrop in there, who's got a couple inches down on McArdle, Acevedo's size at 6'10" can really make up for that.
Yeah, Acevedo played in just 2 games last season, as there, a nice move by Pregame to avoid Acevedo. Acevedo played just 9 minutes last season in 2 games for the Blue Jays a year ago. Callaway, inside jumper, that one's good. Bit of an old school there,
yeah,
right?
Passed up the 3, took a little pull-up mid-range from the baseline. Love to see it.
Back to a 7-point lead for the Blue Jays. Here's Santillis in the lane. That one's good.
And Santillis has got to get going, too. Again, sloppy in the backcourt. The inbound going right off of Shea John of Clark. And Santillis has got to get going because he's the main piece of that backcourt, especially without Taylor tonight. and he's only got 6 points as well. Him and McCardle account for 12 of 19 of Clark's points so far, and they're going to have to continue to do that all game.
Here's Ely, hands it off to Box. 14 on the shot clock. Acevedo's there for the screen, doesn't use it. Now off to 7. Here's Callaway. Over to Ely. That one's tipped, and it's going to go back to Clark. They're going to say Pregame knocked it off of Ely's hands.
It's a choppy offensive possession. You see Box wanted the screen from Acevedo, didn't take it because Box is a lefty. He would be going to his right. It's a tough position there for both Acevedo and Box, not able to really work anything on the pick and roll, and just led to a turnover on that possession.
Here's Santillis, drops it down. Nice catch by McCardle, puts it up and lays it up and in. Tough bucket there for the senior.
Clark hanging tough out of these timeouts. They're doing a good job of making their adjustments, just as USJ has made their adjustments.
Here's Ely, pulls up in transition. That one's too strong, and rebounded by Clark. So a chance for the Cougars to potentially tie this one up. Santillis thought about it. Now kicks it to the corner. John with the three-pointer. That one's no good. And rebounded, say, was last tip by Santillis.
And that's a big man taking a three. Shea John is 6'8", taking the corner three. Don't see that a lot in D3 basketball.
Kevin Cummings checks back in. Tameen Dupree came in a few moments ago. It's going to be a foul call that's going to be on Calabrese.
And I like that from Tertullian, getting in front of his man and then backing up into him a little bit, drawing that foul, making sure he couldn't get the other side of him. That's smart basketball.
Here's Dupree bringing up. It's going to be his third school in 3 different seasons. He's played for Nichols College. He was the Rookie of the Year back in 2021-2022 season. He played 2 games for them the following year and then transferred to Keene State. And that one's going to be stolen away. Ill-advised pass there by the freshman Tertullian. And it'll be a tie-up. Will go back to the Cougars. But Dupree coming back home from New Britain, Connecticut, went to New Britain High School. He's got a chance for his senior year to be playing just down the road here in West Hartford.
Started the game today. Brian, I think he's done a pretty decent job on both ends of the floor.
Now he's defending Ian Calabrese. He looks to drive, puts it up, and it's going to be a whistle and a foul call. And I believe that's going to be on Feldrop. If it is, it's going to be his second.
And Feldrop, I think, did a good job there defensively. Got his hands up, stood straight up. They called a blocking foul. There's nothing much you can do there if you're Freddie Feldrop except get out of the way.
So with 5:34, let's see if he'll go to the bench with 2 fouls. No one to the scores table yet for Glenn Miller's team.
And we haven't seen Altenor since he picked up that second foul. That was 10 minutes ago, Brian.
Yeah, so far USJ has done a great job. Not really just weathering the storm, but just keeping up play here, as now Acevedo will come in for Feldrop.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Feldrop sit the rest of this half, especially with the way Acevedo's been playing on the defensive end. But I think with Clark creeping back into it, they're on a quick little 7-2 run. I'd like to see Altenor make his way back into the game sooner rather than later, with the offense not producing as much since that last time out.
We get it into Box, so both free throws go. We're down to a 1-point ball game. Here's Box across the timeline. Over to Cummings. Dupree still looking for his first shot attempt as a Blue Jay. Tertullian has it. Pull-up jumper. That one's no good. Tipped out, but it's saved to Cummings. Swung on over to Box in the left corner. He knocks it down.
That's a great pass by Cummings to find Box in the corner. Having the tap back really opens things up for USJ. Those Clark players out of position. Box found his way to the corner, and Cummings, great eye to find him.
That one nearly thrown away by Dupree, but Clark able to save it. And a whistle as it's going to go against Dupree. That'll be his first. As Tyshawn Jackson returns to the lineup. Just a lot of guys in and out of Glenn Miller's lineup in this first half, of course, with Feldrop and Eltner with the 2 fouls. But just having to replace 3 starters from a year ago and a couple key reserves. Glenn Miller just trying to figure out his team so far. Gets it down low. That's a nice hook shot. Monatami with the bucket. Had just 3 points all of last season. He's got 4 on the year. He scored 2 against Roger Williams on Saturday. Here's Dupree. Gets inside at the foul line and knocks it down.
And I'm seeing a lot of things that I like from this USJ offense. Obviously, going quick in transition. That shot right there from Dupree went down. But I'm seeing a lot of pull-up mid-range jumpers. Not the most high-percentage shots from USJ. We've seen a couple from Tartulian, a couple from Box. I think limiting those low-percentage opportunities. You know, Box, like you said, you told me at the scrimmage, Brian, Box lives at that elbow.
He does.
And
you've seen it so far.
We have seen it so far, but I think for these other guys, getting into the corners, getting into the top of the key, and finding open opportunities rather than taking mid-range jumpers off the dribble, those low percentage opportunities, USJ is going to have to make those a little more efficient in order to really start clicking offensively.
Yeah, so far they have the 29-25 lead. We'll keep it here. As just taking in the sights and sounds and the feels of opening night here in West Hartford. USJ led by head coach Glenn Miller, who's in his 4th season, 7th overall with the program. Steve Laffin, his 5th season, assistant coach, and then volunteer assistant coach Jeff Calhoun and Tyler Olander. A lot of UConn here, of course, with Jim Calhoun, the gym being named after him. He's sitting above us here at the camera. You can't see him from your angle, but he is above where he always is for these games. The gym is named after him. He's the founder of this men's basketball program, and a huge reason why this USJ program has had so much success so early on. They had 16 wins in their first season, and ever since just taken off, as this year they're looking for their 4th GNAC Conference Tournament Championship. They were predicted to finish first once again this season, and the bar is high here in West Hartford for hoops, and no different this year.
And again, familiarizing myself with this program, it really is remarkable that, you know, you got one of the greatest NCAA Division I coaches of all time in Jim Calhoun, forming a D3 program basically entirely from scratch. And now it is what it is today because of those foundations. I think an interesting note is this is the first year that USJ doesn't have a player from that first year.
It's incredible.
And, you know, again, it's a transitionary year for this USJ team. And this is to open the season against a really good Clark team. It's a tough test, and I think it'll set the tone for a lot of these non-conference games going forward.
Yeah, Tyree Mitchell was the lone player. He stepped out of bounds. That's a great call. Reed Newman stepping out of bounds. We had a great view of that one.
Yeah, Brian Dostauer playing referee over here.
Yeah, just fascinating. You would think year 7, it's obviously a lot. I mean, finally after the 6th year, how about the referee there playing limbo to get away from that one. But with the extra COVID year, Mitchell, he tore his ACL a couple of years ago. Just what a story for him last season. He's playing overseas. In Norway or Germany, one of the two. But to be the GNAC Player of the Year last year, to have that kind of impact. But, yeah, finally in 2024, it's we can finally say there's no original USJ player on the current roster. Here's Santillis, gets a screen from McCordle. That one gets away from him. Off to Clark. Swung it over to Newman. Newman pulls for 3. That one's no good. Dupree gets the rebound and gets knocked out of his hands. Clark takes a 3-pointer. That one's too strong. Rebounded by Pridgeon. He puts it up and lays it up and in.
That's way too easy for Pridgeon. Right in the middle of the restricted area, grabbing an uncontested rebound. Can't have that happen for USJ. Those little points add up.
Cummings looking to respond. That one's no good. Maybe an ill-advised shot there from the senior. Here's Clark in transition, going to go all the way, puts it up, but it's blocked by Cummings. Newman's there from behind, and he gets fouled. That'll be on Acevedo.
And a poor sequence there from USJ coming right out of the timeout. Easy rebound for Pridgeon, and then Cummings takes a quick shot early in the shot clock, a pull-up jumper, instead of trying to work it outside to his forwards. And Clark are hanging tough without their one of their best players. They've really got a big three here. They've got Isaiah Taylor, Kakoa McCardle, Bruce Santillis. They're missing one of those three pieces, a senior guard. First team All-NUMAC last year, not playing tonight. And they're only down one, 2:55 left here in the first half.
Yeah, they're certainly in this ball game. Here's Dupree getting a screen from Acevedo. He's momentarily double teamed. Fox resetting the offense. Now he drives, and it's going to be a foul. It's going to be against Acevedo. They're going to call an illegal screen on the big man. And that'll be his first. And now Clark has the chance to take the lead here with just under 3 minutes to go in the first half.
Unforced errors stacking up in the last minute for USJ.
Clark gets it across the Blue Jay. Gets it back to McCordle. He goes against Dupree.
Nice double team.
Acevedo there for the help. McCordle on the floor. Now Clark has it with 12. Trying to find perhaps a mismatch down low. That one's tipped with 4. Turnaround jumper. That one's no good. Tipped out, goes to Dupree. And he will, looks like he was going to slow it down. Now he's going to ramp it up. Puts it up, and he can't hit it, but he's fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line.
Acevedo's been outstanding defensively. And he's cutting really nicely, too, on the offensive end. Right there, you saw in that possession, Dupree was coming up. Acevedo's got the height on pretty much anyone that's guarding him, asking for the ball, cutting through in the middle of the paint. If Dupree found him, it's an easy lay-in for Acevedo. He's got to keep doing that, and he'll get his chances.
Dupree misses his first free throw. As Jordan Richard, the graduate senior out of Lawrence, Mass, returns to action, who made the spot start for Isaiah Taylor. And Dupree goes 1 for 2 from the line. USJ back up 1. Here's Pridgeon, bounces off Santillis. He drives, puts it up over box. That one's no good. Acevedo grabs the rebound. Santillis might have gone away with some contacts. Box now. Defended by Pridgeon. Kicks to the corner. Cummings. He'll take the 3. That one's good.
Love that from Jonathan Box. Dribble penetration. Going on his left side. They know he can drive to the hoop. Cummings found a spot and hit it.
And Cummings, first player in double digits for either team. Pridgeon gets in the lane. Here's McCardle with up and under layup is good. Double teams in the corner as Dupree gets off to Cummings. Over to
Smart
Jackson.
pass.
Just gets it over with a couple seconds left on the clock.
I think Jackson's a real asset against that full court press. He is so fast. He can get it up the floor in a hurry. Got to keep utilizing him when those opportunities come.
Dupree in the lane, turnaround, or fadeaway jumper, I should say. That one's no good.
Again, another pull-up mid-range shot in the middle of the shot clock.
Santillis drives. That one's no good. And it's still about a 15-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Cummings with the 10 points. He has it. He's left open for 3, so he takes the 3. That one's too strong. That'll be an easy rebound for Clark, as now there's about a 5-6 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
I like that shot a lot more from Cummings. As Clark takes a timeout, they'll reset. Down 2 with 30 seconds left in the first half. They could take a lead again in this one. They haven't had a lead since early in this first half.
Yeah, they went up. They were down 5-0, then went on that quick 9-0 run.
Yep.
Really just came out of nowhere. It's just boom, 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 steal, three-pointer to go up 9-5. But since then, USJ has gotten the lead back and has stayed with it. But a chance here. And if you're Clark, what are you drawing up here into Arjun in the last 28 seconds?
Well, the 2-for-1 is out of the question. So what you got to do, I think, is set something up for McCardle down low. I think McCardle isn't an elite passer, only averaged 1.7 assists per game last season. But I think what he can do is set something up inside, draw the double like he did earlier. And I think last time he wasn't expecting the double with Acevedo coming over to help. This time you can expect the double, see what opens up, kick it out, get a really good look as we close out this half. I think that's what they got to do. They got to work it inside to go back out.
So we'll see if that double team does come. As here's Santillis. Now off to Pregame, defended by Jackson. And about a 6 difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Now with 6 they go. Here's Santillis. Spin move. Well defended by Dupree with 1. Got to put it up. He does, and count the basket and the foul. Bruce Santillis.
That's exactly how I said they draw it up, Ryan. Heaving it up at the end of the shot clock. A really sloppy possession from Clark, but points are points. When the ball goes in the basket, that's all that matters. And with the and one, Santillis with his best moment of the first half.
Yeah, this is his second chance for it, and 1 plus the free throw. He missed the first time on the free throw. This time he gets it to drop as Bruce Santillis now with 9 points and 5 seconds to the Blue Jays as the visitors have a 1-point lead here right before the break. And Glenn Miller, he wants to call for time, is use it or lose it. We'll take one as well. 34-33, Clark with the lead.
America, get back on track with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
All right, Arjun, you called it last time, so what's St. Joe's going to do here with 5 seconds left? They got it. I believe they got it. Yeah, they got to go full court here.
I think if you've got Tyshawn Jackson on the floor, you get it to him and you let him run. Try and see if there's an open foul drop up in the corner. You got Cummings inbounding it. That's who I would have liked to see take the shot. He's got the hot hand. He's the leading scorer in this game, tied with McCardle.
And there we go. Get it into Jackson. Screen from Acevedo with 1. Pull-up three-pointer from Jackson. That one's short. As the Blue Jays are going to trail going into halftime as it's the Cougars with a 34-33 halftime lead. Arjun, your first half thoughts and your first half here at James A. Calhoun Gymnasium.
I think USJ have done a really good job adjusting to what Clark bring to the table, especially with that full court press. There's been a few spotty moments in the back half of that first half, but USJ have learned from their mistakes. They're trying to go quicker. They're trying to force the issue. But I think Clark have done a really good job on the defensive end when USJ are able to set up in their half-court offense. They're not getting that many good looks. When they are, it's not really off the screen. It's because of the speed and the dynamism of both Jackson and Box able to get kick-out looks to Kevin Cummings, who's got 10 points. From a Clark perspective, you're very happy going into this first half. You're missing Isaiah Taylor, your point guard. You're one of your best players, and you're up 1. And if you can keep things rolling, I think they've been a bit cold, to be honest. They haven't shot the ball very well. We're getting the stats right here.
Really right now.
They're 1 for 9 from beyond the arc. And last year they were a 37.4% three-point shooting team. For reference, USJ were 38.2, and that led the GNAC. So Clark are a really good shooting team. They haven't been able to get anything going. If I'm USJ, I'm not saying it's concerning, but I think there is a lot of improvement to be had for the Blue Jays, as well as Clark, because Clark are going to step it up. They're not going to keep missing these shots. 1 for 9, they're going to keep taking them for sure. And they'll start falling. Bruce Santillis is getting more into this game. Kakoa McCardle has been in it from the beginning. Nice defense from Tony Acevedo. When he's in, I think they've got to use him more. Maybe Feldrop at the 4, Acevedo at the 5. I think you've got to go with a bigger lineup, especially when you've got really dynamic guards like Bruce Antilles on the floor for Clark.
And one thing for USJ is they'll get Lance Altenor back. He had 2 early fouls. Feldrop picks up his second halfway, so they'll get 2 of their starters back.
Yeah, really surprised that Altenor sat for 16 minutes essentially in the first half. Got 2 early fouls. Usually when you see that happen, the player will come back in with 4 minutes left. The game wasn't running away from USJ, but you saw Clark chipping away at those 5-point leads, keeping it within 2 or 3. And Altenor, I think, would have been a really good offensive asset for USJ. Scored the first 5 points, got those 2 fouls. In the second half, they'll get him back in. I think Clark will get some of their shooting mojo. I expect this to be super even in the second half. We've got a really, really fun half coming up.
We sure do. We'll come back in about 10 minutes with some halftime stats for that. USJ trailing by 1.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water. Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today. Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome back inside the James A. Calhoun Gymnasium here at the campus of University of St. Joseph's, as we're going to go over our halftime stats. Brian Dassler alongside Arjun Menon on the call as USJ trails 34-33 to Clark. And Arjun, let's take a look at the halftime stats.
Yeah, both teams shooting right around 40%. Clark are 13 for 32 from the floor. USJ 14 for 34. The real discrepancy comes at the three-point line, Brian. Both teams have shot 9 times from beyond the arc. Clark have only made 1 of them. USJ made 4, shooting 44.4%. Clark out-rebounding USJ by 2. USJ have 7 assists. Clark have 5. And both teams with 8 turnovers. Both defenses have been swarming. Clark's in the backcourt with their full-court press, and USJ's inside in that half-court offense. They have a really, really tough defense to go up against, and you can attest to that from this is just the way Glenn Miller coaches his team. They swarm you.
Yeah.
They don't let you have any time, and that is a big reason why that 1 for 9 three-point percentage is a thing. You see, last season, USJ only allowed 32.5% from 3. Opposing teams only shot 32.5% from beyond the arc against this USJ team, which is super impressive. A really, really great number. And that's because of the way they defend. They close you out really quickly. They don't let you get those open looks. And, we saw at the end of the half, Bruce Santillis just had to heave one up from the top of the key. It went down, but those are the kinds of looks that Clark are getting. They're not getting open looks. And when they are getting open looks, they're not knocking them down.
Yeah, to the point about with the defense, USJ allowed 69.7 points a game last year. That's pretty high for a Glenn Miller team. Last year, coming off a year where they lost J.C. Martin, they lost Ryan O'Neal, among others. They were one of the best in the nation, not just the conference, but the nation, averaging just around 60 points a game. So last year, getting up 69 is a lot, and quite frankly, 34 is a lot at halftime for a Glenn Miller team. While you were talking, I saw Isaiah Taylor took a three-pointer in the corner with just one hand because he's got the wrists all bandaged up. That's obviously been a key point, and it was disappointing when we saw him out of the lineup because with Taylor and Santillis, Arjun, these are 2 players. Again, maybe now we have no idea how long Taylor's out for, but coming into the year, these are guys that both have 1,000 point scores, and they could get into, and Santillis could. Again, top 10 scores of program history. Yeah, and they were both first-team All-NUMAC selections last year, too. Having your backcourt both be first-team All-Conference selections is super impressive, and having one of them be out for a huge road tilt against a very good USJ team. It's a tough blow for Clark, but they're holding their own, and we'll see how they perform here in the second half. And McArdle was second-team All-NUMAC as well, so the big 3 last season for Clark. Here's Altenor, had those 2 fouls. They got away with the push-off there. Feldrop has 2 fouls as well. He hands it off to Cummings. Now Altenor has it with 9. Here's Feldrop. Sees how much time is left. Now drives. Puts up the shot. That one's no good. And rebounded by McArdle. He averaged 9 rebounds a game last year, nearly a double-double. It was a good move from Feldrop, but sometimes the guy you're going up against is just too big. Nice hedge there by Feldrop. Can he recover, though? Yes, he can. Picks up the dribble, and it's going to be a travel called. That's good defense from Feldrop, forcing the turnover. And he hurried, coming off, again, as I mentioned, hedging off the screen there. Yeah, McArdle thought he got the and one there. Instead, it's going the other way. Here's Shakari Tutulian, who's the first player under Glenn Miller to start the opening game as a freshman, and picking up his feet was Dupree there. Felt he got away with the push. And so far, a little bit of sloppiness between both teams coming out of the gate here in the second half. And Dupree picked up his pivot foot there. Tertullian, we talked about him, being a freshman. He only had 2 points in the first half, 1 for 5 shooting. He's getting open looks. They're just not dropping. They go back down low to McArdle. Gets it back, but it's going to be a whistle going to go against Clark. It's going to be an illegal screen against the big man, as that's just his first personal.
It was a nice little screen and roll, pick and pop type action there from Richard and McCardle. It was a nice dish from Richard back inside.
It was almost as if Richard passed it too quickly where McCardle couldn't get set.
Yeah.
Here's Cummings off to Feldrop. Had the three, but decides to drive anyways. Left-handed layup on the right side. That one's no good. As both teams looking to try to get the first bucket of the second half. Here it is in transition. Quentin Pridgeon knocks it down. Here's Cummings on the left side, defended by Newman. Now off to Feldrop. Tertullian has it with a high dribble. Tries to get inside, puts it up. That one's no good, but he's fouled. Fouled by Jordan Richard. That'll be his second foul. And for the first time, Jakari Tertullian will go to the free throw line in his college career.
And it's smart again from Tertullian. Nice little hesitation move, getting inside, drawing the foul. He wasn't trying to make the bucket there. He just tossed it up to get the look at the free throw line.
And there's his first free throw, knocking it down.
And USJ, again, they're going to have to keep this close because Clark, they're going to try and find those open looks, and they're going to try and knock them down again. Altenor is going to be huge in this half to see how he influences this team.
McCardle puts a layup over to Dupree and knocks it down. Nice pass from Newman. And it's the largest lead, 4 points for the Cougars.
Poor start to the half for USJ offensively. Not really able to get anything going in the half-court offense.
Here's Dupree, and it's going to be a foul called on Newman. He tried to poke it from behind, but instead he got the body of Dupree. And that'll be the first foul on the junior from Burbank, California. And a whistle off the inbound.
And nope.
It's going to be on Pridgeon. So 2 quick fouls. 4 fouls already in the first, not even 3 minutes of this first half. Something to monitor.
Looked like another push there.
Feldrop just lost that one on the spin move. Here's Pridgeon. In transition, going to go all the way, puts it up too strong. McCardle's there for the rebound. He lays it up and in. Flexing his muscles as he boxed out Feldrop there.
And Altenor caught here.
Now Dupree kicked it to the corner. Feldrop in the corner. That one's no good. Tipped, but it's going to be Newman. No. Tertullian's there, but he saves it to Pridgeon.
I think he thought Feldrop was still in the corner. Tried kicking it to him.
Pridgeon going to go up. That one's no good.
Pridgeon is going really strong to the hole to start this for the second half, pardon me.
Tertullian up and under layup is no good. Can't hit it, but he's fouled. And he will head to the free throw line as it's the third foul called on Richard.
Frantic moments, but if you're USJ, you like that. You are getting nothing going in this half-court offense. You've got to go quicker, and I think they're doing a really good job of knowing when the half-court offense isn't clicking.
And the first free throw is off from the freshman. He's 1 for 3 in the half.
Altenor over here was trapped. Got it out quick. Dupree, I think, when he picked it up, could have got it out quicker even to Tertullian. But Feldrop got a really good open look in the corner. That's exactly what you need to be doing against that full-court press. Getting out of there quickly and forming transition opportunities.
Second free throw is good as Newman and Pridgeon take a seat. Calabrese and Clark check in for the first time in the second half for Tyler Sims' ball club. There's Clark. He's going to drive. Puts it up off the glass. That one's no good. Did everything but drop. And Altenor's there for the easy rebound. Blue Jays looking to get their first field goal of the second half. Feldrop thought about the three, now drives, gets in the lane, and he airballs the floater. The finger roll attempt.
It's a nice move against McCardle, but when you go up and there's 2 guys on help defense, you just got to kick it back out if you're Feldrop there.
Especially when you have the open three. Santillas, he hasn't shot yet in the second half. And they get it off to John. Now Calabrese. He gets it, goes in the lane, kicks it out to Clark. Clark thought about it with 5 on the shot clock, gets in the lane, and he lays it up and in. Christopher Clark.
And USJ's got to be careful that this one doesn't get away from him. It's a 7-point game now.
Here's Altenor. Trying to assert himself offensively. Puts it up and knocks it down.
That's what he needs to do. That's exactly what he needs to do.
He had the quick 5 points before picking up 2 fouls in the first. And he gets his first shot in the second half to go. He's 3 for 3 from the field. Santillas drives all the way. That's too easy for the senior. And he's in double digits with 11.
And if I'm Glenn Miller, I'm keeping Tyshawn Jackson in for as long as possible because they are not pressing him. They know that he can do exactly that.
Right on cue, Tyshawn Jackson lays it up and has a smile after it, blowing by his defender. Back to a 5-point deficit. McCardle. Off to Calabrese. That one's no good. Fell drops there for the rebound and a whistle. It's going to be a foul called. I believe that's going to be on John.
And I think if you're Glenn Miller here, Tameen Dupree in that first half, Clark was only up by 1 at the end of the half. Dupree was minus 12 when he was on the floor. Jackson, on the other hand, was plus 6. I think that is what you've got to keep Tyshawn Jackson in this game. I think Dupree, for all of his acumen, he averaged 14 as a freshman, 7 last year for Keene State. I think Jackson is more fit for this game. They are not pressing him. And I think it's super important for Jackson to get these minutes because he's an asset in transition. He's been really good on defense. He's been really, really strong going to the hoop like we just saw. And Dupree hasn't shown us much of that. They're pressing Altenor when he's playing at the 1. He's a combo guard. He can play the 1 or the 2, but I think Altenor is better when he's playing at the number 2, and Jackson, I think, is much better
as the 1.
As the 1.
For sure. Yeah, and Jackson, if you recognize the last name, he's the younger brother of Delshawn Jackson Jr., who was the first 1,000-point scorer in program history. As we're looking up above on the Clark side, the 1,000-point scorer list, all players that are now gone. As Delshawn Jackson Jr., Ryan O'Neal, Tyree Mitchell, Jalen Samuels, and J.C. Martin.
And Dupree was minus 5 in the first 5 minutes of the second half, so he's up to minus 17 in this game. Jackson stays in. They've got Jonathan Boxon, who's had a good game so far. And they're not pressing him at all. He can get out of it.
Nice move there to shake off the press. Off to foul drop, now Cummings.
It's a big possession for USJ right out of the timeout, down 5. Get it back to 1 possession.
Here's Jackson. Pull-up jumper, that one's short. Fell drops there for the rebound. Pulls it out, swung over the corner. Box open for 3. He takes the 3. That one's no good. Newman's there for the rebound.
Can't get a better look. Really good extra pass from Cummings.
Cougars looking to attack. Clark puts it up and lays it up in. Another tough bucket for the sophomore as he knocks it down. This is a USJ program that is not used to losing in general, but certainly not at home. That one tipped away.
13-2 at home last year, 16-1 the year before.
Cummings picks up his dribble with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Jackson. Clark may have got away with the hit. Now with 4, he's got to go. Here's Jackson. Goes downhill, blocked at the rim. And it's going to be a shot clock violation.
What a block by Shea John, the freshman. Did not play last time against Roger Williams. Coming up with a big defensive play there to keep the score at 7.
Yeah, the freshman making a big-time impact play there.
And Jackson, again, showing what he can do with that speed, but when you go on the strong side and you get the weak side help from John, that's just Outstanding defending.
Here's Calabrese. He pushes off Altenor. That one's no good. Ball's tipped around. Inside, up, and that one's no good as well. And finally a whistle. As a bit of a commotion there with Altenor and John.
And in a game like this, you cannot allow that many offensive rebounds in succession. It's not a second chance, it's a third chance, and now a foul. And that's on Altenor. I think it's going to be his third.
It is, so.
And Altenor's not having his best game either. 7 points. He's -8 when he's on the floor.
Malcolm Ely at the scores table. Got to wonder if he's getting ready to check in for Altenor. As John at the free throw line for the first time of his young career. That one's off. As Jackson comes off. Ely comes on. And Dupree checks back in.
So now with Dupree on the floor, let's see the adjustments that Clark make on the defensive end, because Jackson and Dupree are very different players. And
immediately they double team Ely. Now Dupree gets it across the timeline. Cummings, who had a couple three-pointers in the first half, has yet to hit one here in the second. That'll drop directing traffic. Ely gets it. Puts it up over Newman. Count the basket and one. Malcolm Ely.
That's a big bucket. That's a big bucket from Malcolm Ely. Stops the bleeding just a little bit.
That's going to be the second foul. Second foul called on Newman. And Ely converts the old-fashioned three-point play. Back to a 5-point game. Pregame gets it back from Newman. Here's Clark on the right side, now dribbles middle. Off to Pregame with 13. They're trying to find Jay down low. They do now. That one's going to be tipped. No, it's going to be a travel called.
And that's good from USJ, sticking with the play. Knowing that that's not McCardle out there. It's Shea John, the freshman, getting his first taste of action on the road, high pressure, and forcing him to make a mistake. Nice work from Ely to break out of that, too. Not giving Clark a chance to press him.
4 new players will be in the ball game next whistle as going to the rim, but Prygen's there for the rejection. He might have blocked that with his armpit or close to it.
9 blocks last year. 1 last week against Roger Williams.
As McCardle has checked back in, as has Santillis. Only Newman stays in the ball game for Clark. Here's Box in the corner. He drives, puts it up, and can't hit the layup. Charlotte's there for the rebound.
It's a good contest from Santillis. Box had the better of him on the weak side.
Here's Santillis, defended by Dupree. Shakes off Dupree. Jumper is no good. It's going to be a foul called. And I believe it's going to be against McArdle. And already, Arjun, free throws coming up for the Blue Jays after this break. 47-42, USJ trails by 5.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
.11:48 left. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, as not only is Arjun new to the broadcast, but a couple new cameras as well. As normally in past years, we just had the camera up top. But now we got the two baseline cameras, as you can see here. And also, this is different for me being on this side of the court. Usually at the scores table next to Glenn Miller on that side. But for this season, with all this new equipment, we're going to be on the far side here.
Yeah, and you'll get a nice look at these end line cameras with Feldrop about to take a 1-and-1.
First free throw is short, and the only free throw with a 1-and-1.
And the foul discrepancy is 8-1 right now. Clark nowhere near the bonus, and I think USJ have got to take advantage of that, and Feldrop was not able to that time.
Santillas drives, picks up his dribble. McCarter with the left-handed shot. That one doesn't hit. That one just hits the side of the backboard. Here's Dupree. Over to Feldrop. Dupree looking for his first bucket. Floats it up. That one's too strong. McCardle's there for the rebound. Here's Santillas, defended by Ely. Ball goes to the corner. Shot goes from the corner from Richard. That one's no good. Battle. Santillas wins it. Kicked out to Newman. He's open for three. He takes the three.
That's outstanding ball movement from Clark. The first shot from Richard and the second shot from Newman.
The entire Clark bench is standing, clapping, let's go defense. Again, this is a program that won 9 games on the road last season. They are not afraid in enemy territory. They lead this one by 8. Here's Cummings. He drives, puts up the layup, and hits.
Nice move there from Cummings.
And USJ, they have lost just 9 times in this building, but 5 of them have come after the inaugural season, 5 in the last 6 seasons. So something's got to give here tonight. McCardle with the little jump hook, and he lays it up and in, as he's got a game-high 16.
Clark finding it just a little bit easier setting up their half-court offense than they did in the first half.
Feldrop, top of the key, spin moves, puts it up and lays it up and in.
That's beautiful from Freddie Feldrop. He's got the mobility on McCardle, and he showed that a couple times.
Newman gets inside, puts it up. That one's no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up again. That one can't drop, and McCardle's there, and he tips it in.
2 more offensive rebounds on that possession for Clark.
I think that's the 3rd time this game where it's been 3 second chance points opportunities. Here's Box. Can he respond? He misses everything on the layup from the baseline.
It was a nice shot fake, a good drive.
And a whistle, a little bit of a delay of a whistle. It's going to be a foul called on Box. And Arjun, you can kind of feel the gym just kind of being a little anxious now.
Yeah.
Trailing by 8, just over 9 minutes left here.
And I think that might work in USJ's favor. It might get a little frantic for them. But they've got to take advantage in transition, get the rebounds, because that's where they've really lacked in the second half.
Tertullian comes back on the floor, as does Altenor. As just a combined 13 points from the top 2 returning scorers from the Blue Jays from a year ago, with Feldrop and Altenor. Santillas has it in the corner, defended by the freshman. Ball swung on the other side. Calabrese for 3. That one's no good. Feldrop's there for the big rebound. Here's Tertullian over to Feldrop. Now Cummings has it. Feldrop left open for 3, so he takes the 3. That one rattles out, no good.
I was just about to say I want to see Feldrop take more of those shots.
Richard, he'll pull up for 3 in transition. That one's no good. Ely's there for the rebound.
That's not a good shot if you're Clark. You want to start chewing some clock.
Altenor, that one's too strong in transition, and a foul's going to be called against Tertullian as he gets called for the push.
And both teams trading shot opportunities, open shot opportunities from beyond the arc, not able to knock them down.
As your guy, Tyshawn Jackson, back in the ball game. Ely taking his seat here. Big 23 seconds coming up here, a little bit more before the media timeout. Jackson embellishing that one a little bit from Pridgeon. Gets in the lane, ball goes to the corner. Calabrese for three, that one's no good. Rebounded by Clark, another opportunity. Here's Santillis. We gotta look at the rebound discrepancy. Freddie with the steal and a foul called. That would have thrown down the house, but that foul and whistle was called right at half court.
Tomahawk slam from field foul drop, but
that's one of those where you kind of wish there was no foul call,
Yeah.
that you can get the crowd back in it. You're down by 6.
Yeah.
And Feldrop, who has struggled from the line, and last season, and he missed his first free throw.
yeah, shot 76.6% from the line. Only shot one free throw today in that 1-and-1, I believe. Yeah, 0 for 1 from the line. Only 3 for 10 is Feldrop. Super efficient score last year, second in the conference, 61.3% from the floor. He's only a 28.6% shooter from three, but I was saying when we watched the scrimmage here, he's got a really pretty shooting stroke, and he seems to be gaining a bit more confidence beyond the arc, shooting jumpers. They haven't fallen for him. 0 for 4 from beyond the arc, 3 for 10 from the field overall. And if you're USJ, you're down 8. You've got a lot of game left to play. I think it's not panic time yet, but like you said, Brian, this gym is feeling some urgency, feeling some anxiousness. And I see you circling those numbers. Clark is out-rebounding St. Joseph by 8. 11 offensive rebounds, 24 defensive rebounds. The offensive rebound discrepancy is actually less than I thought it was. But
Yeah.
the second chance points, pointed out to me by Josh here, 14-4. Clark really taking advantage of that. It's an 8-point game. Those are the difference.
That's the difference of the game. So far, that's the difference of the game. As USJ it's only hit 2 more 3-pointers than Clark.
And Clark also 16 points off turnovers. USJ only 8. Both teams 8, 12 turnovers each as Feldrop misses another free throw.
And now the Blue Jays are 4 for 9 from the line, while Clark is 8 for 10 from the free throw line. That's the tail of the tape so far in this one. Calabrese will take the 3. That one's no good. Altenor's there for the rebound. Quick trigger there off the timeout. Here's Feldrop over to Jackson.
Nice cut by Altenor, opens up some space for Feldrop.
Now Altenor has it. Finds Jackson. 12 on the shot clock. Tertullian over Altenor. This is the guy you want, but over to Cummings. 8 seconds. Not a whole lot of action here.
Great half-court defense from Clark.
Dumps
Nice
it down
cut.
to Jackson, and he lays it up and in. That hole inside the paint was open there, Arjun, and Jackson able to find the space. Six-point lead.
Great pass from Feldrop, too, to find him. And a nice curl from Tyshawn Jackson.
Here's Clark looking to drive. Kicks it to the corner. Richard, spot up 3. That one rattles out no good. Clark's there for the rebound. Feldrop. Another chance, though, there on the offensive rebound this time.
You're feeling lucky. It's an uncontested offensive rebound, uncontested putback, and it just didn't go down.
Here's Altenor. Jumper short, and an easy rebound, but it's going to be a foul called against the Blue Jays. I believe it could be on Jackson.
Now, Altenor, that was only his 5th shot taken of this entire game.
Yeah.
Trying to get going. Not sure pull-up elbow jumper is the way to do that. It fell short. Like to see Altenor drive a little, maybe drive and kick.
And Tony Acevedo is checked back in the ballgame. This is by far his biggest minutes of his young USJ career. Just played 9 minutes all last season in 2 games. And he just replaced Feldrop with 6.5 left. His team trailing by 6. Here's St. Tillis.
And it's Acevedo's first time checking in the second half, maybe something different on the defensive end.
They go right at him, but he blocks the shot from McCardle, immediately making an impact. Here comes Altenor. Cummings spots up for 3. He takes the 3, and he knocks it down. 1 possession ball game.
And Cummings was feeling it. Hot hand, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc today. Huge defensive possession for the Blue Jays.
Clark lost his dribble. He picked it up. He gets it back. Thought about the 3. Defended well by Jackson. Here's St. Tillis, the leading scorer. It's going to be a foul call. It's going to be on Tertullian. And that's just going to be the 5th team foul on the Blue Jays.
Yeah, 2 more for the bonus.
1 more USJ's in the double bonus. So the next foul USJ's in the double bonus. Here's Clark. Santillis in the corner, now dribbles. Kicks it out, Clark left wide open for 3, looking for the response. That one's too strong. This time it's 1 and done for the Cougars.
Big rebound there. The Blue Jays really needed that one.
Here's Jackson. Over to Altenor. Now Cummings looking to drive. Bounce over Acevedo. Here's Altenor, gets a screen. Dumps it down Acevedo, and he lays it up and in. A huge bucket for Tony Acevedo.
And that's USJ's best half-court offense possession of the game so far.
Clark gets in the lane. No whistle. McCardle has it. He's double-teamed, and somehow he gets the up-and-under layup, and a timeout called by the Cougars.
That's just great defense. No held ball, no foul.
30-second timeout called by Clark. We'll stay here as well. 2 timeouts left now for the Cougars and 3 for the Blue Jays.
And in these final 5 minutes, Brian, I'm looking for USJ to build off of what we just saw in that possession. Really good ball movement, nice curl from Cummings. Had the wherewithal to not go up with a forced layup, double teamed, kicked it back out to Altenor, and Altenor, really, really smart player. He's finding his spots, not shooting a lot today, but that was a great pass to Acevedo. I said it in the first half, making those cuts. He's been looking for that all game, and he finally found it.
Kind of looks like Acevedo was surprised that it was right there, but he was able to corral and still lay it in.
His first points of the game, had only 3 last season.
Yeah, it's only his second bucket of his career. Again, just a sophomore.
But he's really impressed tonight on the defensive end against a really tough player in Kakoa McCardle. He's picking up the defensive slack for sure, and I think we probably could have seen him earlier in the half. That when Clark were going on their little quick flurries, a lot of that was because of McCardle's inside game. We saw it there, what he can do. Can't always stop him, but Tony Acevedo's done a really, really good job on the defensive end. And there on the offensive end, I think you said he was a little surprised to get it. I think Altenor did a little no-look. I think Acevedo did a good job to corral it, put it up, and put it down in a high-speed situation there.
Clark will inbound it. Or excuse me, USJ will inbound it. McCardle just scored the layup. And they will full-court press here. They get it to Jackson. As he brings it up, 3-point ball game between the Cougars and the Blue Jays, playing each other for the first time in each other's program's history. Had quite a doozy of an opening game here in West Hartford. Here's Altenor. Thought about the 3 over to Cummings with 7 on the shot clock. He gets in. Fadeaway jumper. That one's off the rim, no good. Tertullian, he gets a hand on it, but it's going to stay with the Cougars.
And that time Cummings felt the shot clock going down. We were down to 5. Put up a shot that I don't think he wanted to take either. That's better defense from Clark. I think Jackson took just a little bit too long to get going on that offensive possession.
Foul drop comes in for the freshman Tertullian. This could be the 5 moving forward here for the rest of this one for the Blue Jays.
I think these have been the best 5 players. And Jonathan Box has been a close 6th.
That one's no good. Acevedo's there for the rebound. Good defense there on the big man. Jackson will go all the way, puts it up. Can't hit the shot, but he gets fouled.
And when a guy that fast gets ahead of steam like that, it's almost impossible to stop. And they're really leaning into that.
We have the luxury of being courtside here, and folks from watching at home, I don't know. You can see he's fast, but we have this personal view here, and we can really see how just quick and fast he is coming out of the gates. And the free throw woes just continue now. 4 for 10 for the Blue Jays. They've been in the bonus for a lot of the second half, but have not been able to take advantage.
And Feldrop missed 2 front ends of 1-and-1s, which could have been even more free throws for the Blue Jays.
Finally, they got one to go down. Back to a 2-point ball game. Next whistle will have her under 4-minute timeout, media timeout. And it's going to be a whistle. It's going to go against Clark as Quentin Pregame gets called for the elbow and the offensive foul call.
And Jackson's doing a good job of selling those, too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He got him there. There was one earlier where he embellished, but there, I think. But
he got him there, but that doesn't get called a lot, and Jackson knows what he was doing.
We're going to take a quick break. 3:55 left here, 56-54, Cougars with the lead.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Percent of the scoring.
A team that just has a lot of upperclassmen. The 4 of the 5 starters today were upperclassmen, and Taylor is senior as well. And a whistle, and it's going to be a travel called on Jackson. So, not what Glenn Miller ordered up during the timeout, as Jackson gets called for the travel here in the under now 4 minutes left.
Again, the unforced errors, the little missed opportunities are starting to pile up. Super winnable game for USJ.
Here's Santillis, defended by, kicked out for the three-pointer, and it's knocked down. Quentin Pregame, knocking down the three-pointer, back to a 5-point lead for the Cougars.
Shot nearly 41% from 3 last season. He's a great shooter. He's really been impressive tonight, making really good decisions.
Here's Cummings.
And you don't want to force up a 3 here.
That one turned over. Just went off the hands of Kevin Cummings. Here's Pridgeon. He just made the three-pointer. And I think that's going to be, they're going to say it was off of Cummings. What an opening game we've had here. Of course, this is the second game for Clark, as they took care of Roger Williams at home this past Saturday. That was an 84-82 home victory. Here's Pregame getting in the lane, puts it up and lays it up and in. He got past Acevedo, and for the easy lay, and it's a 7-point lead as Feldrop is just trying to get the ball in. And he barely just gets it in. That might have felt like 6.5 seconds there. Here's Jackson, floats it up in the lane, and a much-needed bucket there by number 1.
And it was a quick flurry from Clark. USJ has got to keep this tight.
Try to get it down low to McArdle, but it bounces off a couple USJ defenders. No kick, however. Here's Altenor.
You need a smart shot in this possession.
And a timeout. A timeout call by Glenn Miller.
I really like that timeout from Glenn Miller. Calm your team down. It's a 5-point game. A bucket gets you within one possession. You have the timeouts. Use them. I was saying you got to get a smart shot. Last time we came out of the media timeout and Tyshawn Jackson turned it over with a travel. This has got to be drawn up to get a really, really good look, whether that's inside, outside. You need a bucket here.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a bucket would make it a one-possession ball game. And last year's opening game for USJ, they took on Yeshiva. They won that game 83-79, but Lance Altenor with about 3-4 seconds left on the clock. The game was tied. He hit an elbow jumper right on the left side, a pull-up jumper. And then Feldrop just stole the ensuing inbounds and slammed it down as time expired. We got the same kind of close game. Clark certainly feels like they've had control of this game, though, despite being just up 5. It feels like it's been kind of Clark's so far tonight.
Yeah, definitely, especially in the second half. I think Clark have had the better of USJ. Went out to a double-digit lead. Clark have done a really good job adjusting in the half court.
15 on the shot clock. They get it to the point guard, Jackson. Here's Acevedo, but Jackson drives, puts it up, and he lays it up and in. Stolen away by Altenor. He gets it, puts it up. He is fouled. Tyshawn Jackson and Lance Altenor making plays happen. And what did I say how last year's game ended? Here, of course, with still 2 minutes to go, but similar play with a big bucket. This time it was Altenor with a steal off the inbounds. And Altenor, he was that sure of a thing from the line last season. Hopefully I didn't jinx it, but 91% from the free throw line, his first free throw attempts of the evening. Knocks it down.
And what a huge swing that is. Tyshawn Jackson went up with his right, switched to his left in midair. He looked like Michael Jordan.
Jackson at just 5'10", as Altenor hits both free throws. It's a 1-point ball game. USJ once again applying the pressure.
Got to get back, got to get back.
They want to double team Santillis, get out of his hands. They got 3 seconds to get it over. They do just barely get it. Here's Pridgeon directing the offense, trying to calm his troops down. 12 on the shot clock. You can hear the USJ fans. They want to stop.
This crowd's getting into it now.
Here's Santillis. Altenor trips over. That one's no good. Acevedo's there for the rebound. A huge rebound there by the sophomore. Jackson looking to come back in transition. Puts it up. No, but he's fouled. And he will head to the free throw line.
Tyshawn Jackson having himself a day.
By far his most meaningful game and most meaningful minutes of his USJ career. The senior from Hartford, Connecticut. Mentioned his brother's a 1,000-point scorer for this program, so he's got a heck of a legacy to live up to. And so far in the start of his senior season, this 2024-2025 opening campaign, he is delivering for Glenn Miller and his team.
And with that, Brian Kakoa McArdle, the leading scorer in this game, has fouled out. Tyshawn Jackson went right at him, drew the foul. And McArdle is done for the day after a 20-point, 7-rebound performance.
I want to say he picked up at least 4 of them in the second half. He had no fouls at halftime, so he had all 5 fouls in the second half.
Clearly part of the game plan to go at him. Big free throws here, both of them, and USJ take the lead.
Knocks down the first one. As with no McArdle, they bring in box. Go a bit smaller.
I like that. I like that. Tallest player on the floor now is Reed Newman at 6'6". Feldrop matches up really well with him, and going small is exactly what you need to do here.
Jackson with a chance to give USJ the lead, and he does just that. 62-61, the Blue Jays with a 1-point lead. Jackson clapping his hands. He's got 13 points.
And USJ have got to focus on rebounding with a smaller lineup. Clark have gotten the better of them on the offensive glass, even without McArdle on the floor.
Here's Pridgeon with 15. Ball goes to the corner. St. Tillis drives, kicks out. That one almost goes over Richard. That one's thrown away by Cummings. Cummings wide open. Two-handed slam.
Throw it down, young man.
A 3-point lead for the Blue Jays.
8-0 run.
Centillis. Now Pridgeon. He drives. That one's blocked from behind. Feldrop had it this time. Now perhaps Jackson wants to slow it down. They get over to Altenor. Now he drives. Euro steps in the lane. That one's short. Got to make that one. Here's Newman in transition. Will he pull up over to Richard, and a timeout is called. That shot obviously does not count.
He
but
made the
boy,
shot.
Boy, oh boy. Tyler Sims electing to call for time.
I think that's a 10-0 run, Brian. Clark were up 61-54. USJ ripped 10 points in a row. What a swing here. It all started with that Tyshawn Jackson lay-in and the Altenor steal. And from then, Clark have not been able to respond.
And there what happened here with the turnover. Santillis drove, went up for the shot. He's done it a couple times where midair he's looking to pass on the opposite side. It goes over the head of Richard. And he, at first I thought he was going to have it or get it to a teammate, but instead it goes to Cummings, and Cummings was wide open for the dunk. I mean, the easiest two of the night for anybody. And obviously that looms large here. 38.4 seconds left. The possession arrow also goes to the Cougars, so keep that in mind, as Clark has one timeout left, USJ with two. And a 14-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Both teams are keeping the same 5 that they had on prior to the timeout.
And again, I like that timeout from Coach Tyler Sims. You set up your offense. Over here on the USJ end, didn't love Altenor going to the hoop. Would have liked to see him slow it down. Milk all of the clock that you can. And now Clark can tie it up.
Santillis gets it back now. He drives wide open, slams it down. A quick two. That one nearly stolen away. Altenor gets it back. No difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so they foul. Or it's really a less than one. It's 26 on the shot clock, 26.1 on the game clock.
And this is the guy you want shooting your free throws, Brian. You said it. Shot 91.1%, 91.3% from the line last season. Elite free throw shooter.
And obviously, if he were to make two, it'd still keep it a one-possession ball game. USJ does have one foul to give. They just have 5 team fouls. As Altenor misses the first one. So a big miss there. Again, Clark does have one timeout left.
And if I'm Coach Tyler Sims, I'm taking that timeout. Make or miss.
Hits the second free throw. So 2-point lead for the Blue Jays. Here's Santillis has it. And he gets it across half court. Looks like they're going to play this one out. Santillis drives quickly, puts it up, nearly blocked by Feldrop, but what a layup by Santillis. Here comes the Blue Jays back in transition. Here's Jackson, and Glenn Miller will call for time with 11.7 left in this one. I thought Feldrop had that block.
I thought he got him. What a move by Santillis.
What a move.
Two huge buckets from the leading scorer last season, 16.6 points, first team All-NUMAC last year. Scored 20 last time against Roger Williams. And today, he's got 15.
Yeah, what a game from him. He's had to step up, among others, with no Isaiah Taylor in this one. And we are in the same spot as we were a year ago.
I was just about to say, Brian, you are calling pretty much the exact same situation.
Last year it was 79-79. USJ had about 28 seconds left on the game clock. Here, 11.7. Last year was Altenor. Again, it looks like he was going to drive. He pulled up for the jumper on the left side. Let's see if they go back to it this time.
And again, a key thing to remember, if we go to overtime, Kokoa McCardle is fouled out. The leading scorer in this game, 20 points, will not return to this game. If we get 5 more minutes, huge advantage for USJ.
That's for sure, as it's same 5 for Clark. Who are you getting the ball to? To Altenor?
Yeah. This is going to Lance Altenor.
It'll be Cummings that will inbound it right in front of the USJ bench. They get it into Jackson in the backcourt. Defended by Pregame. He's there with 6.
6 seconds.
That one tipped away. Now with 3, with 2. Here's Jackson. Puts it up at the buzzer, and he drops it in! He dropped it in! Tyshawn Jackson wins it for the Blue Jays!
Tyshawn Jackson, earn your starting spot. What a bucket!
The senior from Hartford, Connecticut, who has played sparingly in his first 3 seasons with the Blue Jays. And for the second consecutive season, the Blue Jays, with a dramatic win in their home opener, last year versus Yeshiva, this year against Clark.
It's Cardiac, Connecticut, Brian. Wow.
What a finish, 67-65. Tyshawn Jackson with 15 points. He'll get the post-game interview, as there are a lot of people throwing us by now. Usually I'm not used to this. But what a finish as Jackson.
Let's just break down that final possession. We got it back to Tyshawn Jackson. I don't think that's what they were setting up for. We'll ask Jackson here what the call was coming out.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.